Welcome to the COMC Lake TV Community Spotlight Show. It is brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission, and we just happen to have a guy from COMC with us here today. It's Dr. Grant Teichmeier. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be with you.
Good to have you here. You were just telling us that you went to school in Kansas City, and when you got homesick, you'd turn on some Lake TV, watch some Lake TV, right?
So it's really cool to get to be here and get to be a part of this. It's, I think we have a really special community. And, being up in Kansas City, I miss that. And so it was fun to get to kind of tune in and feel like I still had that connection, even though I was further north in the state and everything.
It is a special place, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, there's something special about this community. A lot of different special things, but mostly the people. So you are a dentist for COMC.
Everyone's favorite people, they love us.
Absolutely. Well, we can love the people and not like the procedures and stuff like that. So why a dentist? What was the inspiration to becoming a dentist?
So my parents were both in healthcare for a while, and my mom was a dental hygienist for some time. And I just remember as a kid, she would crack open her pathology books and show me, and I was like, whoa, that's so gnarly, but it was cool to see. And then also just they continue to do healthcare stuff here at the lake. They own the Lake Park Senior Living.
Okay.
And so I got to see how they got to serve their community through that. And I was like, that just seems like a natural fit. And I was like, but I need to do it my own way. And so dentistry was that path for me. And then I just saw COMC. They have a very similar kind of moving force behind them. They really care about our community. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to join forces with them and just see where it goes. And I've been loving it.
Wow, that is fantastic. So you've got this love for dentistry. Did you think that started with your mom?
I really do. Yeah, I think so. She is very passionate about what she did, and now they're retired. Like I said, she works with the assisted living that they own, and it's but all the time I'll come home from work and she wants to talk about teeth and everything, and I was like, nobody else does this.
Right?
Who wants to talk about this? But she's all in, and so that passion definitely bled over into my life as well.
That is so cool. I mean, you can tell you love it. I mean, you're not just doing it's not just a job. It's I love doing this stuff. You also have a passion for architecture. I think because when you're doodling, you're writing up little drawings of houses and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So in undergrad, I went to a small school in Bolivar, Missouri, and had my senior year kind of okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to do dentistry? Do I want to? And the path was always dentistry, but I thought, architecture would be really fun to get to do as well, especially down here at the lake. We have a lot of beautiful buildings and homes, and, COMC's expanding, so there's a lot of exciting construction going on there, and that's just been something I've been around growing up. My parents have done businesses, and I've got to see that, and so it's well, what does it look like to maybe get into more of kind of architecture and stuff, and ultimately I landed on dentistry. But it's funny, people don't realize how similar they are.
Really?
Yeah, we do a lot of the same physics and stuff that go into strong structure of buildings. We do the same physics just to make sure your teeth are nice and strong, or bridges, and they're different kind of bridges, they're dental bridges, but there's a lot of kind of that analytical mindset.
Interesting. But, gosh, things you would never have thought. And so, a lot of people find their way to the lake. They grow up somewhere else and then they come in. But you pretty much grew up here, right?
Yeah, for a good chunk of my life. Yeah, we came down here when we were little kids. I was probably a year old or something like that. And we had a bunch of family in Nebraska. So we did a small stint up in Nebraska, but the plan was always to come back here. And so when they opened up their business, it was the right time to come back. And so, one of the places I was if I graduate, I want to come back here. So this place it gets a hook in you and you can't leave,
Absolutely.
But I love it.
But you're still a Husker fan.
I know, that's why
why
my voice is so bad. We were at the game and we were yelling so loud. It probably sounds like I have a really raspy voice.
It sounds like you were yelling on Saturday night.
It was great.
So you have this passion for dentistry. What is the most fulfilling thing about being a dentist for you? What brings that love?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. We get to meet people where they're at, which is pretty cool. We have a lot of people who have prioritized their oral health and they're passionate about having healthy teeth, and we get to join them there. And then we have people who, on the other end, maybe didn't see it as an important thing to really pursue. And so we get to meet them there and try to say, hey, you know what, like what happened in the past, like we can't go back and change, but what are we gonna go forward and do? In this school, we get to kind of like make a plan, tackle it together. I will say what's really cool about COMC is it's not just like a one-sided dentistry. Like I get to do a lot of different procedures, which is fun. And in a lot of different contexts, like we have the mobile dental unit. I don't know if you've seen it buzzing around Camdenton or the whole lake area, but it's really fun because we'll go to the local schools, and I love working with kids.
So you're on the bus?
We're on the bus.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a lot of fun.
Wow, I guess so. It's really a cool concept of, people don't necessarily have to come to you. COMC is going to the people, trying to take the, dentistry, because there are some kids out there, some families out there where the teeth aren't even thought of. It's just, it's an afterthought of taking care of those. And if you don't take care of them, you're going to pay for it later.
You do, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those, I've got to have some really cool conversations with some awesome kids and teens, just saying there's a lot of people, who maybe wish they could be back where you're at and make the decisions to make certain changes. And so I hope it's an encouragement. It's never out of judgment or anything like, hopefully just like encouraging them like, hey, we get to offer this, and I know this stuff, I've studied this stuff. And it really does make a difference in people's quality of life, which is cool.
Man, your teeth start hurting, it's bad. That is not good, man. So we're talking with Dr. Grant Teichmeier from COMC, and we'll continue to talk to him and get some of your best advice on how, routines we can use to take care of our teeth when we come back on the COMC Lake TV Community Spotlight Show. If you love the lake, you gotta love Lake TV. Central Ozarks Medical Center, voted Missouri's best and best at the lake, is recruiting team members due to growth. Amazing employment opportunities for both medical and non-medical positions with competitive salaries and outstanding perks. For more information, go to the Careers tab at centralozarks.org. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Join a leader. Join our team. COMC, where your health is our mission. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. Welcome back to the COMC Community Spotlight Show. We're talking with COMC Dr. Grant Teichmeier. Grew up here at the lake, went off to college, learned to be a dentist, and wanted to come back. So he's back. So being a dentist, every dentist I've ever met has suggestions on the best routines to take care of your teeth. What are your suggestions?
There's a lot that you can kind of dive in. This is what I love about dentistry. I tell people, people right now, this seems like there's a big trend. Everyone's all about hair care, skin care, and all that stuff. It's like, well, let's talk about like dental care. If you're somebody who dreads like waking up in the morning, brushing, flossing, like try to make it fun. If you want to have like a fun flavored toothpaste, like get something like that you can make sure. For me, I know this is controversial, but something that has fluoride is really good to strengthen the teeth. It prevents the breakdown of the tooth material. So not to get controversial like on this, but that's just my...
Fluoride in the toothpaste.
Yeah, fluoride in your toothpaste, fluoride in your mouth rinse. You shouldn't be ingesting it. You shouldn't be swallowing it.
Yeah, don't be drinking it.
Yeah, don't be drinking it, exactly. It should just be there to just kind of bathe your teeth essentially, and it prevents the breakdown. Flossing is huge. That's the one that everyone's like the dentist always tells me to floss, and I'm like, well, they're not.
Yeah,
lying.
I'm one of those.
Yeah.
How about those like the plastic toothpicks?
Yeah.
Is that like flossing or?
Yeah.
No?
Are you talking about the one that has like the strand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good. I think they're great if people have a harder time, getting way back there.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound so silly, but when you do it, just take a moment and like wipe off that floss after each tooth. Like go wipe it off and then go again, because it just. Otherwise, you're shoving the same debris and bacteria back into the gums.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do toothpicks work? Are those good for you or not good for you?
I don't. They're kind of. It's up to you. It depends on if people just sit and chew on them.
Yeah. Chewing on them's no good.
Yeah, chewing on them's no good.
I gotta stick them in between.
Yeah,
your
yeah.
teeth.
If you need to get something out, I would go for that. But I would recommend floss.
Okay. Flossing. I'm always the guy that says, I know I should be flossing more, but you know,
I get it. It's not my favorite thing either. It's not fun.
And every dentist I've ever seen in my life has told me to stay away from sweets.
Yeah.
And yet you love sweets,
I do.
right?
I do.
How do you keep good teeth?
I feel a little bit like a hypocrite, but I would say the biggest thing is my routine. Like I'm religious about my brushing and flossing, which is kind of funny. But you go to school, you see what can go wrong, and you see honestly how much of it is preventable. And so, I love going to Randy's or going to Andy's or going to all these different places around the lake, or, we got a lot of great ice cream around here.
Yeah.
And that's my kryptonite is that's what I go for.
I don't know how you stay so skinny.
That's a good question. It might not last for long, but yeah.
We talked about the mobile dental unit a little bit earlier that COMC has. You take dentistry out to the community. Do you go just to local schools, or do you go like into rural areas? How does that work?
Yeah, so I'm still kind of learning about where all the places will go. Yeah. I know for sure the places that I've been with them, or we go to the public schools.
Right.
And we see a lot of kids get to come through the bus and get a lot of good work done.
Yeah.
And then we also do like dental screenings just out in the community. So like a while back we were out there, I think it's called Pruitt Point. Is that like where Lowe's and like all of this?
Yeah.
So we were out there doing some dental screening for free. So if people were like, I think I need to go to the dentist, but I don't necessarily know, or people are hesitant.
Yeah.
So it's just a way to break down that hesitancy and be like, hey, it's free. We just do a scan, make sure you're nice and healthy, and if we see something, we'll be like, this needs to change.
Do kids come in scared of the dentist, or is that something we learn, after we've been there a few times, if we need to be drilled on or something like that? I'm guessing the kids that start out aren't afraid, right?
I think it's a little bit of both. Definitely culture. I mean, it's not an unknown fact that people are afraid of the dentist. Right. I do think that a lot of the kids we see, we do just a really good job of being welcoming.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. You can see it when they're like a little hesitant.
Yeah.
And then the fun part as the dentist is like, okay, like how can I make them excited about their oral health?
Yeah.
And so I just try to approach it in a way that's like, hey, we're gonna try to make it fun. You have a really energetic like conversation with them. Again, you try to get to know them, establish that like trust.
Yeah.
And then you're able to, then they're gonna able to trust you to take care of their teeth, which it's kind of they have to warm up to you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, you just see this person, I have those goggles, that shoot down, and that's how we magnify your mouth while we work, and it looks scary to kids.
You can.
And even
it looks
to adults.
scary to adults. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The field of dentistry has made so many huge leaps forward, though, in the last few decades, and we're down to our last minute.
Yeah.
But things are so much easier now than they used to be, and with the painkillers and all that stuff, there's not nearly as much pain. So that all probably makes your job a little bit easier, I'm guessing, right?
It does, yeah. The use of like our anesthetic and everything. People are still nervous to get, the injection, the shot.
Yeah.
But I like to think all the providers do a good job of delivering. We try to make it as painless as possible. Yeah. And unfortunately, we have to do the anesthetic, so you don't feel anything while we're working.
Give me that anesthetic, baby. I don't want to be. I don't know how they did it in the old days where they just yank it out.
I've heard my grandpa. He was telling me he never. But I don't know if I can share this now, but he personally told me he never had any anesthetic. He would just get stuff done. And I was like, I'm glad we don't live in an age where we do not really encourage that.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, it's Dr. Grant Teichmeier, COMC. You can go find more information at centralozarks.org.
Yeah,
thank you, sir.
It's been
Appreciate it.
fun.
You bet. And thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.